Everybody. Okay, so I promised this earlier in another video. I'm going to read some fan mail, and I'm not sure how this is going to go. Um, so I get all these emails. Uh, it's really bizarre, but I get emails from people who just want to tell me they like the book, and I'm going to pick some out just based on subject or I'm not going to read any names either, so don't not send me email because you're terrified I might read it. And if you want to send something and you want to make sure I don't read it, just put in the email, please don't read this. Or you can say, please read my name because uh, I'm, well, I'll do whatever you want me to do. But so it's all very experimental. So the first one, this one I got, let's see, yesterday, and I guess I'll work chronologically back and start with more recent ones. But I think this one's funny because the subject is how are you not super famous? So, and the email is very short. I just like the subject line. Hi Hugh, Wool is quite simply the best book I've ever read. In fact, this is the first fan mail I've ever sent, and it couldn't be more deserved. I will be forcing everyone I know to buy a copy. Kudos and keep them coming. Thank you very much for forcing people to buy my books. When they leave their Kindles or their computers or even their phones unattended, just pick it up. Go to the Kindle store, purchase a copy for them. You don't have to tell them you did it. Just do it, and maybe they'll find it on their phone one day. Um, so that was cool. How are you not super famous? Um, let's see. Uh, just want to say thanks. My name is blah blah. And a few months ago, while browsing through Amazon's sci-fi fantasy sections, I stumbled upon this little gem of a book that you wrote called Halfway Home. I read it and reread it, astounded at all you managed to pack into that short novel, and then I searched for more of your works. Since then, I've purchased and read everything I can get my hands on. I just want to say thank you for continuing to write. I've fallen in love with every story, every character, every world over and over. I love seeing where you take things and watching your characters grow. Keep up the great work. That was a nice one to get. That came 2 days ago. I love hearing that people read a lot of different stuff. So let's see. This one is entitled Fan Letter. Hi, Hugh Howey. I've read a lot of books in my 26 years of life. Reading is my number one passion, and up to this point, I have no genre preference. Thanks to your wonderful writing, it's safe to say my favorite genre is officially sci-fi. I have read the Wool series as well as First Shift. Where do you get the ideas for the series? This is a female writer, which is so cool that now her favorite genre is sci-fi. Um, I saw your link to postapoc.net and was wondering if you are a prepper. Do you believe that one day in our time something crazy will happen that will forever change the civilized world as we know it? I'm also very fascinated and intrigued by all the different ideas and books written about what life could be like if civilization, as it is now, ends. And I've responded to all these emails, so I answered this question. I never heard of preppers until after Wool got popular, um, and I'm not a prepper, but I do enjoy writing about them. Also have a few questions about writing. I've been writing on and off for a long time. I have so many ideas about novels that I'd like to write, but something always stops me after I start. I was actually trying to narrow down a genre when I discovered the Wool series. How hard is it to get your ebooks published? It's very easy. What if, what if any advice can you give someone like me? What inspires your writing, and what authors do you enjoy reading? And I answered all these wonderful questions. Yeah, it's really easy to get published. If I can do it, anybody can. What advice do I give people starting out? Just to write a whole lot. Just keep practicing and keep producing material. Write every day. What inspires your writing? My wife threatens me to. She threatens harm on me if I stop writing because she really wants to keep reading this stuff. So that's what motivates me. And what authors do you enjoy reading? And I told her how much I love Neil Gaiman and Neil Stevenson. I like all the Neils, basically. If you're a Neil out there and you got a book, send it my way. I love them all. And then she says, I'd love to hear back from you. I have no idea how many fans you have or how many emails you get. If it's a lot, then I completely understand you not getting a chance to answer them all. Hopefully you at least get to read this one and know that one more person thinks you're a great writer. That was an awesome email. Let's see. The subject of this one is a note to the author, in parentheses, that would be you. Um, Mr. Howey, first off, I would like to compliment you on your name. Hugh Howey sounds like one of those names that are so naturally great it must be a pen name. But enough ogling over your name, time to ogle over your works. About a About a month ago, my father gave me his Kindle, and it had the first three Wolves and Halfway Home on it, among several other novels as well, all of which were science fiction. We're both sci-fi nuts. Ask me anything about Star Wars or Stargate SG-1, seen it all, know it all, and I need to see Stargate SG-1. Um, there's a few series out there that I need to go back and see. I'm a geologist and work on site at a drill rig, basically sitting next to it in a tent, waiting for rock to pop out of it so I can look at it and make sure everything goes smoothly. Sometimes the drill is down for maintenance, and other times the rock is just so hard that it takes a long time to drill. So as you can imagine, I have downtime. So I picked up the Kindle and saw a couple Michael Crichton, all right. I've read Jurassic Park, Prey, and some others of his stuff. Pretty good, but he has the same way of writing all of his novels, which just gets boring. Not sure if you've read his stuff, but it's more or less minor plot twists and one after another. I still remember from several years back reading Prey and laughing out loud in the final pages of his novel when the main character is running away from the, spoilers alert, nanomachines. It's pretty much golden and you know it, but Crichton feels it necessary to add two more sentences in this final moment about how he trips, falls, and gets back up again, only still to be fine. It's a little excessive. Also on there were three of the co-authored works of Jerry Pournelle and Larry Niven, two of my favorites. The Mote in God's Eye, The Gripping Hand, and Lucifer's Hammer. Lucifer's Hammer rocks. This is me inserting stuff into this email. Now, I've previously read The Mote and Gripping Hand, both extraordinary books that really define the sci-fi genre. Written like true scientists, I believe. Yes, Jerry Pournelle is a planetary astronomer, so very much a true scientist. No bullshit with their words, no fluff, and to the point. Even all the characters all speak like it. Amazing book. Still have yet to read Lucifer's Hammer. Get on it. That's the best one. Which is what finally brings me to the point of this roundabout email. I love roundabout emails. I wanted to start Lucifer's Hammer, but I needed something quick, so I figured, hey, this Wool thing is a short story. My father said it was awesome, so I'll check it out. I'm so glad you read Wool before Lucifer's Hammer, because when you read Lucifer's Hammer, it's going to ruin Wool for you. It's so much better. I finished the three Wools in about 4 hours and severely depressed how I was left with so many questions. But alas, this is how all series seem to go. I burned through them only to have to wait impatiently until the next book comes out. Instead, I moved on to Halfway Home and crushed that in a little less than a day. I love him. Like, this is a guy who works with rocks. He's crushing my books. It was at that point that I started salivating over your works. My life had renewed purpose when I found the two more Wools, and I was even more renewed when those last two Wools turned out to be even better than the previous. Capitalized. Oh my God, Halfway Home was just as good as the last Wool, and man, were they great. So I've checked, and it's damn unfortunate I can't get more Wool series. I've started reading the Molly Phi series, literally just started, and I'm a little turned off by it since it seems adolescent in my opinion. Yeah, it's young adult. It's written for young people, though old people with young hearts still like them. I'll keep reading. Don't get me wrong. That's just my initial opinion. Yeah, it grows up. You'll like it later, but not as much as you'll like Lucifer's Hammer. That book rocks. Anyways, at the end of your Wool series, you had the funny Q&A, and you said to email you with any questions. My question is, what you write is golden. It's amazing. I want to know your inspiration. Do you have any suggestions for my next read? Don't feel bad citing your own work either, but I'm looking for great sci-fi books, and Wool and Halfway Home really are awesome quick reads that I need more of. So, what do you suggest? So I gave him suggestions. He says, sincerely a huge fan of yours, and that's a kick-ass email. I love hearing how people find stuff, like finding that on his dad's Kindle and hearing like where he reads and what he does. It's so cool. I mean, I want to picture what's going on the other end of all this nonsense. So that was a few. I guess I was going to read a lot more, but these things get long and then no one wants to watch them. Also, my dad told me to get some light on me for the next video, and sorry, Dad. I'll do it next time. Yeah. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, so that's some fan mail. If you think I should do more of that, I can. It doesn't take that long. I love getting these. I read every single one. I think I've responded to every email I've gotten. So I it's encouraging to hear from you guys and gals. So keep them coming. If you think this is worth doing again, I'll do it. If you think I don't know, it's improper to read the stuff out loud, then tell me and I'll stop. But okay, that's it. Not babbling. Peace.